Sinagra is just off Joondalup and exciting things are happening. It's a small but mighty suburb, I'll put it like that. Definitely one to consider if you are considering investing because
it's that kind of suburb. It's like families are going in there, young families, young professionals. Blocks are okay sizes and stuff, but it's that community feel that's got it.
Yeah.
This is the Build Out West podcast with your host Tony Hyde from Evolution House and Land Specialists and Catherine Smith from Build Bright Builder Brokers.
If you guys are looking to build in WA or simply curious to see what's going on in building, you guys are in the right place. We're here to give insight with professionals in the game, coming to give the inside scoop. Episodes are uploaded weekly, so don't worry, we don't skip a beat and you won't either. Like, share, subscribe, sit back, relax, and let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Build Out West podcast with your host Tony Hyde
and Catherine Smith. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we?
Yeah, not too bad.
Chipper.
chipper. Getting on.
We are excited to do another suburb hotspot.
Yeah.
I do get some DMs asking, do this suburb, and I am ignoring them all. We're going to Sinagra.
Yep.
Okay. It is one I have maybe an unhinged, passionate love for at the moment.
And we'll tell you for why.
We'll go through in a lot of detail, but yeah, we're getting a lot of people saying, oh, can you talk about this suburb? But I really want to do Sinagra today. A lot's happening there. It is basically, if you don't know where Sinagra is, it's basically just inland of Joondalup. Everyone knows where Joondalup is. It's basically the end of the freeway north, if you will, the beginning of the northern pocket of the Alkimos-Eglinton chain there. But yeah, Sinagra is just off Joondalup and exciting things are happening. It's a small but mighty suburb, I'll put it like that.
Yeah, it's really starting to be dominated by first home buyers. Not so much, we're starting to see the investors starting to back out now from over east, and it's more first home buyers or second home buyers getting in the market, and it's probably kind of affordable. Unfortunately, land still just starts with a 300, but the affordability, single families, it's that kind of suburb. It's like families are going in there, young families, young professionals, just trying to set up their life. The blocks are okay sizes and stuff, but it's that community feel that's got it.
What is exciting about Sinagra is the high percentage of owner occupancy there. So I think 80% is actually owner occupant. It means there's just not a lot of rentals there. So pretty much everyone that lives there has either built there or bought there or whatever. And they're very much in that space. Originally back in the day when Joondalup was nothing, that's sort of when all the families came around. And now it's just almost an extension of that because obviously, the population has increased there. It's not far from the beach. I was there the other day. It was about 13-minute drive to Burns Beach.
Nice beach.
So really nice, but obviously a lot more affordable than Burns Beach, put it that way.
Yeah.
But no, what I like about it in terms of the suburb location is although it's in its infancy in terms of being developed, everything around it's very mature. So we have sort of, the major suburb hotspot of Joondalup, which has its own hospital. We've got, was it HBF Arena there?
Yep.
We've got the universities up there. You've got the freeways up there.
Police colleges up there, like the police colleges in Joondalup as well. So
there's actually, I think, quite a few different training academies up there for different things. I think there's a chef school up there. But what that basically means is if everything's there, Bunnings is there, things like that, it's very much established, it's very much mature. But now they're releasing land for those new home builds to have sort of those newer modern homes in those areas. A lot of the older mature suburbs there were those bigger blocks, traditional bigger homes, where now you just have more the traditional new home build sizing, which allows for obviously a lot more higher population as well. So.
Yeah, and it's kept some sort of local beauty around it as well. It's kept some parks and stuff like that. It's not just completely developed the land into just for building houses. They've kept some of the parklands and stuff around it as well. Yeah. So it gives you that kind of, if you want to work better with natural beauty. So you've still got, I don't know if they'll have nature trails and stuff, but they've got that kind of side of it, which makes it a little bit, nicer, rather than just being concrete jungle and just houses everywhere. Yeah. Like, if you're in the middle of Baldivis, say, right, that's just like a concrete jungle. If you go to the outskirts of Baldivis, it's on the outskirts of you've got the acreage houses and you've got lots of woodland and all that sort of stuff. So Sinagra's got a little bit of that going on about it as well.
Yeah.
Was it
Sinagra?
So why am I saying Singara? I don't know why. I think it's a beer.
Wangara?
I think it's a beer. I think Singara's a beer.
Maybe. I don't know. But I think because it's still relatively close to the beach, relatively close to the freeways, to the universities, to the shopping centres. It's just desirable for people to live there. And I think that's why a lot of people had that high owner occupancy there, because people genuinely want to create their own community there, you know?
Yeah, and that's the kind of what we've been reading through the stats and figures is not so much the investment markets in there, it's people buying a house to set up and actually live there and have a community, and hence the reason having all that stuff around it really works for it. You know what I mean?
4x2, you're looking about 705K from median, which is below Perth median, which is nice.
Which
so
is
still about 750. So yeah, relatively affordable for the first home buyer market as well. But because there just isn't a lot of rentals, you do get a really high rental yield if you were to look into that. Yeah, about 6.2% rental yield as well for Sinagra. So it's really just a supply and demand thing, because naturally people want to live, is a higher owner occupancy. There's a little bit more care, I guess, in the neighbourhood. So the renters obviously can pay that. Charge that premium for that area.
Yeah, you also, with people living in that, when that home or occupancy stuff, you get to know your neighbours and get to know the community and you build friendships and that. If you're in a high rental place, you don't really get it because people come and go so quickly.
Yeah.
So that's where that community spirit they're trying to put. Well, that is being pushed in Sinagra, I think, as we see. The growth in it, was it been up to 15%, is it, in the last 12 months?
15% in the last 12 months, and I think about 28% in the last 24 months. For Sinagra. So I think it's just because...
It's common standard now, right, for everywhere.
Kind of everywhere, to be fair. But I think with Sinagra, it was just almost nothing 24 months ago. Do you know what I mean? It just wasn't much there. And it if you look on the map, it is actually quite a small suburb. It's between Ashby and Wanneroo there.
Yeah.
So, there probably just wasn't a lot of stats about it the last couple of years. But some big developments have come in now. So the major ones are Stocklands is in there, and they are sort of more at the bottom of the hill, if you know. And then we have Lavu, which is Jardim Developments. And then Damon Strong's team are doing Garden Parks as well. Okay. So they're the three major developments at the moment.
And just to note that it is in its infancy. It's still very much in a development site.
Yeah.
So if you were to get in there kind of soonish, it would still be a lot of building work going on there. But what it's going to achieve in the next 24 months is going to be that nice built-up estate, lots of parks, the nature land around it, the walks, all that stuff is all going to come together. So it's a very good investment. Being so close to Joondalup and the hub and all that, you will never lose money in that place, I don't think.
No, I mean, the roads are there, everyththing's there. It's very much a low-risk sort of suburb, if you will.
It's kind of cookie cutter in it, but I think, you've spoken about this before, it's a cookie cutter, nice estate, but it's going to grow. It's going to have growth there. It's going to be desirable because, you look at the growth in Yanchep all the way up, the Capricorn Beach all the way up that way. Some people still want to be inland and closer to the kind of city and stuff, and that's
it's funny you say that, because I actually calculated, because a client the other day said, "Oh, what about Yanchep?" And I said, "Yeah, but if you actually Google map it, that's 40 minutes from Sinagra."
Yeah,
and Sinagra is half an hour from the city.
So it is,
So 40 minutes difference. You're like, yeah, okay, it might be 40K cheaper, but it's also 40 minutes difference.
And it doesn't feel like that drive though, because it's a big long straight road into it and then one in. But I get it. Once you're on the road and it's fine if you're on the train going in and out.
Yeah.
But if you got to drive, and I can see, you want to be working it that way.
Yeah. So with Sinagra, all the estates are selling untitled lots, obviously, which is just the norm. But essentially what is happening is, we are selling into 2025 now across all three estates.
Yep.
So it is very much first in, best dressed, snooze, you lose energy. If you want Sinagra, I will probably advise you to secure your block for 2024, purely because the actual suburb itself is not big. So once the land is developed, then that's it. We're going to have to go further away from the beach, and that will be the next suburbs over. Sinagra itself is still very much desirable purely because it's proximity to Joondalup and the beach.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you're looking, say, early next year, you'll be able to secure your block. They're all pretty much selling for next year already, and we're July 24.
Absolutely. We're talking to clients now. I'm thinking about building. You need to start thinking about it now and get your ducks in a row and get the ball moving. Or if you wait till next year, you're not going to miss the boat, but you have another potential another 6 months to wait for land. We're signing land up in, you've done a couple in June, July next year.
Yeah, a year away, 12 months.
A year away. So that's a 12-month wait. You've got to sit and wait before you can even start putting a slab down or put a brick on the slab or anything like that. Then you got another potential 12 months to build. That's 2 years away. So That's what I was saying you want to start looking at. And it's not going to get any cheaper because the demand for land is huge.
Yeah.
The demand for land completely outweighs what we've got there. We're just telling you because we're seeing the actual facts and figures. Go back and listen to Matt Bowes from Nvidia. He talks about it there, telling you about what's going on. So it is there. It's real. It's not where you can just jump in and sign up and you're in a house in 6 months and building. It's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Not for another 24 months, I don't think.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why Sinagra's desirable for, owner occupancy. But in terms of investors, I definitely wouldn't overlook it purely because it's a supply versus demand thing. Yep. I mean, the rental yield is obviously quite high, 6.2%. That's for 4x2. But if you kind of go from a common sense perspective, if there's not a lot of rentals and there's a lot of demand for the area, then it's a good place to invest as well.
And you'll really niche into those family markets, the family that want to live in that rather than young couple.
You get that higher caliber of tenant, people making families, it a home rather than just renting it. But then also bumping off the population of the universities as well. So you could obviously target the university students and things like that. Around ECU, Joondalup, there are apartments and things like that. 2-bedroom apartments are $520 a week.
Wow.
Okay. Which is concerning for everyone. But to put in perspective, from an investment point of view, if you're doing a 4-bedroom there, it will be well into the sevens. So yeah, that's definitely one to consider if you are considering investing, because obviously it is a lower risk suburb purely based on the maturity around it.
Yep.
And then the drive for people needing to be there, whether it be university students. There is a major hospital up there, so anyone that has obviously in need of long-term medical care and things like that will generally be around there. But all the amenities are there in terms of the restaurants and the shopping centre and what have you as well.
And just go back on that and something to consider when you're going back on the rental side of things, when you get the more mature, kind of higher calibre, They become long-term rentals. They're there not for 1 or 2 years. They're for many, many years.
Yeah.
And if you've got a good tenant that's happy to rent, it's a dream. You just leave them and it just goes. And, you're 5-6 years down the road and everyone's happy. So that kind of area is where these people look for. So that's another great point to consider there, right?
Yeah. So I think Sinagra actually hits the nail on the head for homeowners in terms of living owner occupancy, but also investors as well. It has a really nice blend of being low risk for both perspectives, depending where you want to do there. But yeah, Sinagra, I would say it's definitely one that we are doing a lot in. But yeah, the 3 major land developments, there'll be a few coming up in the second half of the year, but it's really just securing land 2024 because the actual suburb itself is not large. So, you got to get that block and then we can do whatever we want with it once we get it.
Awesome. Well,
cool.
We'd love to hear your comments, whether it's about my accent or whatever. I am trying to slow down.
He does mumble. We know. We can't help it.
But, I did try. It's, given that, that ethnicity.
Yeah, you're so ethnic.
I'm so ethnic. No, great. Always look, we really, really want everyone to start subscribing to the YouTube channel. And as always, like, share, follow, do all the good stuff. And we will be back in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye. This is the Build Out West podcast with your host, Tony Hyde from Evolution House and Lawn Specialists and Catherine Smith from Build Bright Builder Brokers.
If you guys are looking to build in WA or simply curious to see what's going on in building, you guys are in the right place. We're here to give insight with professionals in the game, coming to give the inside scoop. Episodes are uploaded weekly, so don't worry, we don't skip a beat and you won't either. Like, share, subscribe, sit back, relax, and let's go.